Hello, subscribers and friends. Tonight, the stream is going to be a bit different. Tonight is going to just be hanging out. We're not going to play a game, at least probably not. Might mess around with the hex editor, but if anybody's out there, we'll just see if anybody feels like chatting about games in general, or for that matter, anything else. So, this was kind of late notice I gave everybody, so you might be busy. And for anybody that watches this later and is like, what in the heck is he doing? This is just a way to relax, yet let you guys know how much I appreciate you and just kind of have a little fun with some hex editing here. So I thought what I would do is hex edit the executables of some DOS games and try to find out what they're developed in, see if we can find any hidden information in some of the files. Just some all-around shenanigans with the hex editor. So I don't even know what this game is. Aquaphobia. Okay. I don't think I've ever played this. Quitter. Okay. So let's hex edit Aqua. Hey, Gauntlet, welcome to the stream. How are you doing tonight? We're using our hex edit shareware program. REM software. It was developed by Richard E. Morris. Oh, that's why it's REM. Okay. Pretty clever. You can see that was the phone number for his BBS back in the day. 918-437-3837. Okay, so let's open aqua.exe. For those that don't know, MZ, every executable starts with MZ, even today. And that's the initials of the person who came up with the exe schema. You're doing okay, Gauntlet? Glad to hear it. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I didn't want to stress myself over playing a game tonight, so just doing this instead. Now, the other thing I noticed right away is this LZ91. This is data compression. So unfortunately, I don't think there'll be much visible in this exe. So whatever's on the right side over here could potentially be text that you could read. But I think as I scroll down, there's a little bit we can read. There's the word game. I'm just looking for some English. But anyway, that LZ91 is a compression algorithm, so I assumed most of this is not going to be readable. Hey, and Ron's here. Welcome, Ron. How you doing this evening? I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Yeah, mz.exe, yeah. Only the cool kids hex edit, Ron says. Yeah, I should be hex editing Athena. We could actually. It's not going to be an exe, of course, because it's a ROM, but yeah, we could see what kind of goodies are in the ROM file that we could see. It might be compressed also. But yeah, that's a good idea, Gauntlet. See, I'm not seeing much readable information here. Age. So I guess they ask your age, maybe. Either that or that's some of the compression algorithm. Only compress some of the data. EGA. Dive. Okay, so yeah, not much can be gleaned from this exe. So, Athena. I'm going to have to copy this into my games directory. Actually, no, I don't, because I do have it mapped. Okay, so it should be under here. ROMs. There we go. So we should be able to see Athena here. There it is. 131K. Oh, thanks, Ron. You did some work on your book club. Cool. So what does that entail? Like when you say work, what kind of work are you doing? No, this is the NES, but the NES ROM files are basically image files of all the data, like of the cartridge. So we'll be able to see some stuff in it most likely. Athena.rom. Is that what it was called? Hold on. Oh, NES, okay. Athena.NES. So here you can see NES Disk Dude must have been the either the program or the guy that extracted the ROM. As long as it's not compressed, we should see something at some point. Yeah. Ron says, I was looking at different variants of Puss in Boots, then compared them to the 3 standard versions. See if any of them change. Sort of comparing and contrasting. Oh, okay, cool. Did you find anything interesting? Come on, Athena, you gotta have something in here worthwhile. I wonder if some of this, the way this is laid out, is part of the bitmap graphics or something. Like some sprites. Because I'm not seeing much any text really yet. Look for glitched hitbox, Gauntlet says. Let's go to the bottom and see. Yeah, I didn't see any English words in here. So it's either compressed or they don't put like ASCII characters in here and it uses something else. Because, yeah, I don't see anything. And that's my pizza that I got to put in the oven. So let me do that real quick. Okay. Yeah, Gauntlet last night I think was talking about his pepperoni pizza on the stream and it made me hungry, so I'm like, man, I need to make a pizza tonight for the stream. Hey Barry, welcome to the stream. How you doing? He says this reminds me of an old sector editor used on Commodore 64. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely, Barry. Let's check out something else here, guys. Because the ROM was a fail. Well, Bane, here's Wizardry 6. I think I've looked at this before, but we'll check it out. Actually, that's interesting. Hmm. Uh, this is not truly DOS. Okay, let's try this. Okay. I'm trying to see what's in. Hmm. That's interesting. wroot? Really? wroot is the executable for Bane of the Cosmic Forge. Interesting. So basically, it's like a kind of a launcher that loads different files into memory. That's really cool. I'm like, why isn't there an executable called Bane or Wizardry or something? And I never noticed that you run the batch file, which executes this wroot against a given file. Ron says, well, even before I looked at the other variants, I found that the books were only added in French versions and weren't present in the previous two Italian versions. In terms of the variants, there was one that had a female protagonist. Really, not too many very interesting or outstanding versions so far. Often a fox replaces the cat. Oh, okay. One version you like because the main character had a cloak made of feathers. Hey, John, welcome to the stream. How you doing? Search global thermonuclear war. What's that? Is that some kind of game or something? Or well, it says a Commodore 64 replica out of Amiga coming out this year. Oh yeah, yep, yeah. You had pepperoni pizza last night and chicken strips tonight. Oh, okay. Yeah, the P/P should work, but it's since this is DOSBox, it's not a real um, a true. Oh, it is an emulator. It's not a true DOS, so it doesn't work. They have a type command, but yeah, it doesn't work the way it should. Okay, so let's oh, that's War Games. Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember War Games. I've only seen it one time, but yeah, that was pretty fun. All right, so here's the wroot that D.W. Bradley wrote. Let's see if we can find out anything about it. It might be, no, I was going to say it might be compressed, but that doesn't look compressed at all. Here we go. So yeah, these are probably the files that it refers to. An 8087 or 8287 is required. That's weird. Because we all know it's an 8086. Subtract one off of that. So yeah, it uses overlays that pulls into the executable memory. So we can't tell from this, so let's look at the other files. There was a scenario.dbs. So this is where you could hex edit the items if you wanted to. So you can see the Dragon Slayer, Bushido Blade, Butterfly Axe. I remember when I was a kid, after I beat it, I'd mess around and like make a sword do 5,000 damage or something. Okay, so let's see what's at the bottom down here. So this is not an executable, obviously, because it didn't have MZ at the top. So it's just overlaid in. We got here. There's the NPCs. Almonte, Smitty, Toll Troll, Guardian Rock, Amazulu Queen, Sharon, the Bane King. Pilot says you should boost all of these stats big time if you can affect gravity would be cool. Okay, so I still don't know what this is made out of. Bane Edit did not come with this game. What was the other executable? W install. Well, that's not a good indicator, but we'll look. This is the installer mechanism. I thought that Bradley said he wrote this in C or C++ in an interview. .25-inch floppy diskette or 1.2 meg or 1.44 meg. Let's see. Yeah, Ron, I saw that. So you mentioned that on Discord. You're bopping around in Krondor today. You've never been so excited to explore games so far. Cool. Hey, Saz, Tam, and Derek's here. Welcome, guys. How you doing? Oh, tell your wife hi, Derek. You normally just write in English. It's just as confusing to some people. Sudoku puzzle, yeah. At least that D Forte was here. Yeah, we could do that. Oh, okay, cool. Well, hello there, Teresa. Let's see. I'm just looking for. Here we go. So, copyright 1990, David W. Bradley and Surtech. Surtech, all rights reserved. Still, I thought I was going to see a compiler put there. Borland was very famous, very popular back then. So I was assuming he used that. What do we got here? Hercules, black and white. Tandy, 16 colors. Can you modify controls, Gauntlet said? If you knew where to look, yes, I'm sure you could. It wouldn't be easy, but yeah, you could. Oh, I see now, Derek. Okay. I thought you were talking about because it looked like Sudoku that you were talking about language. Yeah, that's funny. Hey, Garrison, welcome to the stream. How you doing? This looks like a crazy game. Yeah, this would not be a fun game if it was a real game. I still have no indications of what this is written on. He didn't use any libraries. That's crazy. Normally when you make something like in C or C++, you'll have a library linked in there. Derek says change the copyright so it's gifted to you instead. Let's do it. Let's see. That was on W install. That's really weird. Why would it be in W install? That doesn't make sense. That's when you're installing the game. So yeah, it wouldn't do us any good to put it in there. Let's look at wroot again just to make sure. I didn't think I saw anything in there. Hey Keith, welcome to the stream. How you doing? Gauntlet says copyright public domain. Just kidding. Oh, glad you're doing good, Garrison. Eric says the best part is when you find the hidden mines. Boom. Yeah, that sound file, Gauntlet. Yep. Ron says I am forever amazed that these guys are able to come up with games with these languages, no prior experience. Yeah, well, the ones that did were extremely intelligent. David W. Bradley. I would definitely put him toward the genius level, at least as far as creativity. Hey, Shot, welcome. How are you doing this evening? Yeah, a lot of people never experienced that, Shot. They never did any hex editing. Because it is more technical. I mean, you had to be a computer nerd like me to do that. Yeah, I don't see any copyrights in here. Okay. Well, we'll do it on another game. So, what about Buck Rogers? That should be an easy one. Oh, and I gotta get my pizza out. Be right back. Okay. Get my camera adjusted here. Let's see. There we go. Man, chat's flying tonight. That's great. Hey, Gabriel's here. Welcome, Gabriel. How are you tonight? I gotta scroll up here a second. A lot of times the source code is lost, says Tam says, and Gabriel says hacking. No, we're not doing that, Gabriel. Roller Coaster Tycoon was coded in assembly. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I know part of the Bard's Tale was too. A lot of the older ones were. But that's really crazy. Because Roller Coaster Tycoon was later. System says there's some ROMs, some NES ROMs that have source code in them. Ha! That's pretty funny. I'm so bad with references, Derek. I don't know. Don't ask me. Coding's not your thing, Garrison? Yeah, I totally get it. Did anybody figure out Derek's reference? That's funny, Shot. You can edit those into something inappropriate, huh? Pizza Forte, that's right. Garrison guessed Dr. Strangelove. Gauntlet says, so some of the source code is forever lost. Is there any way to reverse it? It depends on what it's written in. Like if it's bytecode, like Java, and it hasn't been obfuscated, then you can get back, not the exact original source code, but you can get back a pretty good amount, especially if they left the line number debugging in there. But if it's something like C or C++, you can get it back to assembly language, but you're not going to be able to get it back to true C++. Barry says, oh, the joy of borrowing a friend's game, then using an editor to change all the high scores to my high scores. Good old day. Yeah, that's funny. Glad you're doing good, Gabriel. Hey, Michael. Welcome. How are you tonight? D Forte versus the Whopper. Oh yeah, Whopper was War Games, right? Someone mentioned War Games earlier, Derek. Saztam thinks pretty much all the NES games were coded in assembly. Yeah, the assembly for the NES, that's true. But I think, like, NES is, I don't know for sure, but I would speculate it's probably easier to code for that processor than for an Intel. Yeah, that's true, Ron. Oh no, that was Michael. I'm sorry. Michael says I think we're safe to assume none of them were coded in COBOL. Hmm. Oh yeah, he just said War Games with Matthew Broderick and Ali Sheedy. Yeah, that was a fun movie. Michael figured out, yeah, Whopper before I did probably. War Games movie supercomputer. 14 watching. Ron says 14 people watching D Forte eat pizza and just blab on. Yeah, I remember they called it Whopper. It was spelled WOPR. I'm feeding my dog at the same time. He likes pizza too. The only Whopper that Gabriel knows about is the one that goes in his stomach every now and then. Glad you're doing good, Michael. Gauntlet says encryption equals backdoor keys from government. Compiling does not. Says Tim, I've seen that. Colossus the Forbidden Project. Yeah, that's a good movie. It has a interesting ending too. Derek says I'd show it to my classes so they could see what old school modems used to be like. And they had no clue. Yeah. Good old dial-up days. First modem I got, I think, was either 300 baud or 1200 baud. It was ridiculous. Michael says same response twice. I typed greetings like this all the time on my Discord. Yeah, Ron's on vacation this week. That's awesome. Oh, thanks, Derek. That's nice of you. Yeah. This is a doctored up Jack's pizza. Because Jack's is usually like it has no cheese on it. So I had to add some. It's good now that I added more cheese to it. Shot says I was quite disappointed to learn the computer voice in War Games was just Professor Falcon's voice messed with. Wow, really? I did not know that. Hey, Takaho, welcome to the stream. How you doing tonight? Barry says Whopper is War Operation Plan Response, I think. Yeah. That sounds right. I have not seen Lawnmower Man, Garrison. Is that a good one? Saztam says, would you rather hack the Whopper or the Gibson? I could just see it now. My YouTube channel gets taken down for talk about hacking. In case you guys don't know, if anything ever happens to my YouTube channel, make sure you go to dforte.com. Because I own that domain and I will prop up something else there. First modem Derek bought was a 33.3 BPS? Or do you mean kbps? It's just straight mozzarella, Derek. Gauntlet says I've been taking off on trading as well. Yeah, that's probably a good thing. Yeah, exactly. The Jack's Pizza it has such little cheese on it. I mean, they're cheap. You can't blame them. That's why they're cheap. I just doctored up a little bit. Derek says if you can get Tillamook, that's the best shredded cheese. I've never heard of that. Gabriel says, you heard it here first, folks. Had to add cheese to make this pizza acceptable. 4 out of 10. Derek says that makes sense that they do that since Joshua the Whopper was supposed to be his kid's mind placed into a computer so it can learn. And Garrison says Lawnmower Man isn't technically a good movie, but it's entertaining. Hmm. Yeah, shot. He says I figured it was some awesome early voice synthesizer like Amiga had, but yeah, it's screwing around with voices. That reminds me of Max Headroom. Remember Max Headroom? When I first saw that, the commercials for it, I was blown away. I'm like, whoa, look at this digital head. That looks so cool. They had the digital background, you know, and Max Headroom's head on the front. It was all analog. It wasn't digital at all. It was some guy with makeup. They could not. They didn't have the capability to generate the digital like that. So that was disappointing to find out. D Forte Master Hacker, Michael says. The director's cut's on YouTube if you ever want to watch it. Oh, really? The Lawnmower Man? Does it have ads or something? Because I would think that would not be possible. Garrison loves the cheesy 90s CGI. Okay, you're talking kilobits per second, Derek. Gotcha. Haven't had a frozen pizza in a while, but you always liked freshetta? Freshetta? Hmm. Oh, so that cheese, Tillamook or whatever, came from Oregon, Derek says. Sounds like Little Caesars, Sastam says. Bigger shreds, so it melts great on pizza or a Philly cheesesteak. Yeah, Gauntlet, that makes total sense. Yeah, I actually watched this TV series. I started watching that, I don't know, a few years ago, and it wasn't that bad. I mean, it was really cheesy, and he's not actually involved in the show too much, but he does show up on there sometimes. It's always entertaining when you watch shows try to predict what the future is going to be like, and then they're still using goofy analog things like cassette tapes, and it's really entertaining. Yeah, the TV station hacks. Yep. Hmm. Good evening, HBO from Captain Midnight. That's funny. Yeah, Michael, I do remember that where they left the message as Max Headroom. I was wondering, Garrison, if I'm like, man, how's that allowed to be put on YouTube? Like, I get copyright hits from uploading an old retro game, like Heroes Might and Magic 3, because it has music in it that this third party company called Hawk, spelled HAAWK, flagged. And yet, some movie seems to get past it. It's like, what the heck? Colin says, how about the floating back braces from B2TF2? I don't know what that is. And Ron says, Can you replace Buck with $? So it's just literally Buck Rogers. What's weird is that this doesn't display anywhere, I don't think. But yeah, we're going to look in here to see what kind of language this was written in. I brought in the extra pizza pieces over here, so I don't have to get up again. Here we go. We're looking for English words. Here we go. What do we got? The team has found booty. That's always a good thing. Right there. The team has found booty. Exit to DOS. Yeah, we could change any of this. Just to play around and be goofy. Van Allen, that's funny. The Van Allen, is that the radiation belt? Oh, Back to the Future 2, Gollum was talking about. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That's just so annoying. I have gone through, I bet I've had, I'm not exaggerating, I bet I've had 60 to 80 claims against my Heroes of Might and Magic 3 videos by this company. And I have to manually go in and mute the sound segments where they claim that music is playing. And I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm spending my time doing this because those guys aren't going to get a dime. And so, in the past few days, I haven't got any more claims. This has been going on for months. Yeah, I brought the pizza with me. It's sitting right there. That is serious. Garrison says he's surprised how many decent B movies and stuff you find on YouTube. Yeah, and that makes sense for the B movies because usually it's done by a smaller studio and they're either bankrupt or no one owns the copyrights, or they don't have the money to sue anybody. That's good, says Tim. He says it would be funny to change that Tandy message to something like Tandy 1000 users get bent. Let's see if we can find that again. It must be up higher. Oh man, where was it? Okay, let's see. There's the team has found booty. Spits acid. Exit to DOS. I must have missed it. Well, we can change the exit to DOS. Or was that? Here we go. Let's change it to drop dead. There's the Dandy 1000 users. There it is, drop dead. We only do serious stuff here. Oh, and it won't execute because it's their code is looking for literally exit to DOS somewhere else. Yeah, I have no strikes, Gauntlet. As long as you go in and mute where they say, then you're okay. Control C still worked. So let me put it back. Oops. Why is it doing that? I have numlock turned off. Would have been easier just to back up the game file. Okay, here we go. Drop dead. See if it works now. That is weird coding. Yep. So they're looking for that specific message instead of like using the index number on the menu or something. It's funny. You can't edit the video itself, Gauntlet. You can only edit the audio, and it's through YouTube's tool. It puts a little like time range, and you have to say start here, end here, mute the video, and blah blah blah. Shot says he got claimed for some Bob Ross audio once, and I'm like, Bob Ross gifted all of his shows to PBS. He made all of his money through separate teaching schools. He would not be happy with this. Exactly. And it worked, yeah. That's cool, Shot. So let's see if we can find out what this is written in. Every time you exit to DOS, it turns on numlock. What's up with that? What the heck? I hit numlock and it's not turning it off. Now, jeez, now it does. You may have used this hex editor before, Gauntlet. Insert disk 7. Wow, that must have been like 360K diskettes or something. That's a lot of discs for this game. This game is not that big. Here's the weapons. Somewhere in here, hopefully we're going to find the language. Yeah, that's true, Michael. He says Bob Ross's company probably owns the rights now, not PBS. That is true. We got 3 more pieces here. Well, it says I bought 2 external floppies to the internal, but some games still had 5 discs. Oh, on Amiga. Okay, I was going to say, why would you do that on a PC? That's right, you're an Amiga user like Shot. Shot had a PC also, but his fave was the Amiga. He has a lot of great Amiga videos on his channel. So far, I haven't seen any language indication. There's Tandy 1000. That's true, says Tammy. Says the pizza must get eaten. Leftover pizza is a sin. No indication of the language in here. That's the only EXE. There's no command files. There's an overlay. Wow. So yeah, even that one we couldn't figure out. Yeah, you could daisy chain external devices. That reminds me of SCSI devices. Chat says some games bypassed the built-in Amiga DOS operating system with their own custom loaders and still didn't support multiple disk drives. That's funny. Yeah, PC did that too. There was like Wizardry 5 had its own bootloader. It bypassed DOS. Michael says leftover pizza is what they eat for breakfast. Gabriel's going to get me in trouble putting some various keywords in the text. Yeah, Michael, I'm sure you're right. He says I'm willing to bet that Goldbox actually had a game development system. Yep. Sierra, did the same thing with their systems, so it's probably true. Mm-hmm. Yep, you're probably right, Michael. Yeah, bootloaders or booter discs. Yep. Michael says when your game is an OS. Oh no, I'm just teasing, Gabriel. No, I know. Hmm. SASTM says depending on when they were made, the Goldbox games were written in either assembly, Pascal, or C++. Hmm. Interesting. Thanks, Gabriel. Appreciate it. Shot says had to be assembly. Pool of Radiance was first released for the Commodore 64, and that isn't supporting too much else than BASIC. Yeah, that would explain why I can't see any descriptors in there. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. What about Darklands? I'm curious. Hmm. Well, obviously, this hex edit program cannot deal with hex editing Darklands through DOSBox. Are you guys seeing that? Pretty cool effect, huh? You ever want to have a cool retro screensaver effect? There you go. Just hex edit Darklands. Garrison says, "Oh, it's Dwarf Fortress." Gabriel says Darklands was so advanced it was programmed using colors. That's funny. This is my last pizza, guys. Prettiest DGA ever, Shot says. And Gauntlet says, new D Forte intro? That's funny. It could be. Barry says, whoa, trippy. It does look like Las Vegas. Well, it completely hosed up DOSBox. I have to actually kill DOSBox. Okay. Let's exit one of the smaller files. Let's try install. Because most likely it'd be written in the same thing. Doesn't guarantee it, but generally they would keep the same type of software. Let's see. And Microsoft Runtime Library. Copyright 1990. Hmm. Oh, there it is. Well, no, it's Sound Blaster. Well, we know it's using some kind of Microsoft Runtime Library, but it didn't say what kind. Gabriel says, not do a Darklands run through that screen only. Chat says, if I was programming the game, I'd let you get the very end before I release that seizure screen. Oh, that'd be awful. There's Microprose. Someone posted on the Discord about Microprose earlier. Hmm. By Brian Reynolds. Here we go. Another copyright. 1992. Hmm. Who's Brian Reynolds? C file info. Right there. So this was written in C, I think. Because that's like a standard thing you can access in the C programming language. Sastan says, find drain.exe, a program that will drain water out of your PC. Darkland programmed in Visual Basic for DOS. That would be funny. Oh, that was you shot? Three of their games got banned from Germany as pornography due to violence. So it was like rated X or something. Is that what they call it? So yeah, it looks like this was probably written in C. Now this is the installer, so it doesn't have to be the same as the main game file, but Gauntlet says the no code is gaining steam. Click Team Fusion 001, game creator, and you found a bunch on mobile. Michael says all blood in the EU has to be green. No human deaths allowed. Or at least that's the way it used to be in games. Really? I thought you were joking, but it sounds like you're serious. Here's the Dark Savant, Wizardry 7. What'd that say? Oh, IO error. Okay. Colin says I got an add-on on Humble Bumble for Unity and another in the Unreal Engine. Huh. Yeah, I know Jake was talking about that, like some countries being strict on censorship, like in from Finland. That's where he's from. Yeah, this didn't say either what that was written in. Ugh. Let's look at Gold Rush. We already know that this is going to be Sierra's game engine. So this command file loads theirs. See this loader version 3.0? It loads their AGI adventure game. Wonder what the I stands for. Interface? Adventure game interface? Yep. So there's their AGI. See, it's really an executable. You can see the MZ up there. So this AGI file is an EXE. Adventure game interpreter. It's not interface, it's interpreter. Authors Jeff Stevens and Chris Iden. Wasn't Ken Williams? Well, it's considering a deal on Windows PowerShell packet reference and SQL Pocket Guide. I don't know if it'd be useful. Yeah, and Shot corrected me. It's the adventure game interpreter. Oh, here's Load Runner. It's a command file. Wow. For those that don't know, command files can only go up to 64K kilobytes of memory. So that they're really small. And so most games and programs start going to EXEs. Only really old ones use command files. Broderbund for the IBM by Doug Green. Doug Smith. Look at Ultima 6. Okay. Hi there, Nigel. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Oh, it says on Atari theirs was ST operating system. And Shot says Ken Williams did like two things once upon a time and then egotistically forced all the other games to put him first in the credits. Really? I did not know that, Shot. Oh, glad to hear that, Nigel. Yeah, I'm doing well. Okay, Gabriel, have a good evening. Yeah, I know the stream's probably dragging on now. Thanks for dropping in. Okay, so here we go. We're finally getting to something readable. This is the Ultima 6. Exit to DOS. This wilt thou come quietly. This is when you do something and the guards catch you. It always says that. Shimino says this is stuck in a web. Here we go. We finally got one. Turbo C, copyright 1988 Borland. So this was written in Turbo C. Chat says executive producer Ken Williams. Anyone who knows what an executive producer actually does, well, it isn't much. That's funny. Okay, so we finally found one. Turbo C, Ultima 6. What about, well, Leisure Suit Larry we know is written in Sierra's interpreter. Here's Fantasy 3. And actually, the lead developer was interviewed by Matt Barton on Matt Chat. I think he said what he wrote it in. I didn't think it was C. I thought it was like Pascal or something. Yeah, there's his name. Winston D. Wood. Copyright 1987. Shot says some movies would put Steven Spielberg as an executive producer just to have him attached, even though he didn't do anything. Producer gives money, executive producer gives less money, Michael says. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, the director's really the one that makes the movie, right? Like they're the important ones. I don't know that for sure. I'm just guessing. C file info. So I think this is probably written in C. Huh. Oh, wonder if maybe he didn't make the third one. He has his name's in it though. There's the MS runtime library. So yeah, he's using Microsoft's runtime library. Okay. Well, we found another lot of C, as you can tell. Nigel says, got a question. Do you know the combat calculations that were used in Wizardry 6? No. If you're asking for like specific formulas, no, I don't. Probably the best place to go find that out, Nigel, would be Cosmic Forge. If you search for Cosmic Forge editor forums, there's a lot of people there that you may have already looked there, but there's a lot of people there that get into really detailed stuff like the formulas. Colin says C is just average. We need A. Star Command, that's another one. I think this was developed again by the same guy, Winston D. Woods. Oh, it has Brun 30 right there. You see that? I don't even have to look. That's basic runtime. So this was written in BASIC. Wow. That's probably what I was thinking of. when I was talking about Matt Chat interview. Yeah, sorry I couldn't answer that for you, Nigel. I don't know the exact formulas. Yeah, Michael says the computer language APL just stands for a programming language. I always like that. Yeah. Kind of like GNU is not Unix. Well, this is probably starting to get boring, so any other requests while I'm in here? There's the Oregon Trail. A lot of people learned from the Oregon Trail. Again, this has data compression on it, that LZ91, that's what that is. See how some of the letters are missing? Like it goes choose and then that got replaced. You can see the compression taking away some of the characters. Hey Sprocket, welcome. How are you doing? Says, I joined your live stream and thought for a second that I entered the Matrix. Pretty trippy. This looks weird. Yeah, we're just checking out these files and seeing what the games were written in and messing around with a few other things. Gauntlet says, need Wizardry OS. Blizzard. Staring at the DOS prompt is never boring, Shot says. Alright, let's go all the way to the bottom. A lot of this has been compressed. Copyright. Okay, cut some of that out. It's not a very good compression. I'm still able to make out a pretty good amount. Emily, Mary, Joe. Oh yeah, this is the names of the characters and that high score for the Oregon Trail. Not seeing anything so far indicating what it is. We know it's not basic because it didn't have the runtime with it. Isn't that the company name? MECC? I feel like that's who made Oregon Trail. No Joy. I think that's supposed to be joystick. There's so-and-so has died. There's the has died message. Money left. Drowned. Greenhorn. Barry says, not boring to him. Takes him back to his Commodore 64 days hacking games. Joysticks not supported. Michael says it's the Minnesota Education Computer Corp. Okay. Make all the deaths from dysentery. Yeah. Man, when you get that, that's such a common death in this game, isn't it? Although when I reviewed this game, I had never played it before. And when I did my review, I beat it on the first try. I played all the way through and I beat it. And I'm like, okay, let's do it again. And then I died the second time. Yeah, I just don't see any indications as to what this is written in. Oh, there's congratulations, only it's congratu because of the data compression. Maybe that's what those Japanese games, they could blame it on that. They could say, oh, our compression algorithm messed it up. Yeah, I wrote my own compression. Gosh, back in college, or it was either college or right after I got out of college. I wonder if I still have it. I'm sure I do somewhere. Let's see if I can find it. I wonder if I have a compressed folder here. Hmm. Let me look on my other computer. Yeah, here it is. I don't know if it'll run. I think it's. Let me see if it'll run on. No, that one definitely won't. That is a DLL. So that's the Windows version. Nah, oh well. Okay. Congratulations, Gauntlet says. We can speak English, but our computers can't, Michael's quoting Japan. Does Edlin work here? No, I don't think so. Not in DOSBox. No, they don't even have edit. Now, if I started up a virtual machine with real DOS, we could do that. Yeah, that was the Oregon Trail file, Garrison. Yeah, I wrote some data compression. I was looking for it, but it runs on Windows. I think it would run 32-bit DOS. These are some old utilities I have here, like Write Protect Hard Drive. I don't trust that this actually worked. Supposedly it did. Let's try it. Let's say copy bsafe.com to test. Yeah, it didn't work. So DOSBox, obviously being an emulator, there's a lot it does not do. That Write Protect hard drive is supposed to make it where anytime you try to write something, a box will pop up and prevent you from writing. That was awesome in the DOS days. God says thanks for the thing. Yeah. It's thank you for the important thing, is what it said. And Michael says you could have been the zip guy. Yeah. Yeah, the compression I wrote, it was a dictionary compression, kind of like zip. It was different how it worked, but and then I wrote one that's just a run length compression, but I would use it on files before zipping them. And some files it would make smaller than just using straight zip. But it was only files that had a lot of redundant data in them, like databases and stuff. Yeah, the important thing was using the attrib command. Does it even work on here? Does nothing, provided for compatibility, DOSBox says. Yeah, so we're pretty limited with what we can do in DOSBox. This one's fun. Bye. Goodbye now, hard disk parking program. Number of fixed disk drive 0. Turn power off now. So this program would park your hard drives when you had to do that a long time ago. You actually parked the read and write heads on it to disk 0 and then turn off the computer. So I'd use that. That was a long time ago though. What other COM files? Memory information. This MI. This was by Central Point Software, which I think it was either Norton or PC Tools. I think maybe PC Tools was owned by Central Point Software. Does anybody remember that? Yeah, I use VMware, Michael, and use DR-DOS a lot of times. That's my favorite DOS. Colin says, I think I had Atari ST and Amiga in the hard disk drive parking days. Seems like this. Yeah, this could give you all the details of your memory. We'll see if it works. We could see our driver device list. So you could use this to try to optimize your memory before something like QEMM came out. Virus safe. This was when antivirus software was very simple. So you could bring this up and you could say, this is a TSR file, it's called, to terminate and stay resident. So I just fired it by doing Alt-V. And so you could prevent a low-level format. You could say remain resident, do a general write protect, check executable files before they ran. But it was so funny because it was just so simple. I don't know who bought out CPI, Michael. Yeah, I don't know. Shot says the Amiga had some awesome compression methods. LHA, LZX sometimes provided 70% better compared to Zip. Yeah, Zip actually was not that great. I was like a compression nut. There was a website called the Archive Comparison Test, and this guy would run data compression tests on all kinds of different files, and he would list them. And I was obsessed with trying to get the smallest files, even if it took like a really long time to run. And on DOS, there were a couple really good arithmetic algorithms with like way ahead of their time. One was called BOA, B-O-A. Another was ACB, Associative Coder of Bayanovsky, was that one. And then What was it called? I think it started with an R. Let's see if I can. Archive. So it's RKIVE. That one, that's by Malcolm Taylor. That one ended up being the best data compression consistently. But I actually, oh, okay, Nigel, have a good one. We'll see you later. I actually bought this one called Happen Paw from a guy, I think he was in either Finland or I don't think it was Sweden, Norway maybe, or the Netherlands. I'm not sure. And he shipped it all the way across the ocean, and I used that. Norton bought Central Point, Michael says. That explains why it went away, because they had competing tools. You know, you had PC tools, and then you had uh, Norton Utilities. Gauntlet said I was using Windows 95 on Windows 3.1 years before using CPI Desktop. Yeah, that totally makes sense. Well, anyway, this was a cool tool. I use this a lot. And I'm sure it's not going to work with DOSBox. Or, yeah, we'll try it. Yep. So they're basically, none of those work properly. Here's a program I used a lot. Gcopy. Or you could copy like a whole bunch of files to a given drive and like the folder structure and everything. And then gdelete, I use this a lot. This was a way to be able to pick specific files you want to delete, almost like from a menu. So you do this and just flag them, and then it'll delete them for you. Just a real simple tool. And it locked up DOSBox. You can see DOSBox is not designed to work with utilities. Let's see here. What are we doing, DOS? Utility. Have anything else? Bat2Com. That was actually, I think, a PC Tools. Oh, I compressed it. Yeah, PC Magazine. That's what it was. PC Magazine. They would come out with some uh, tools like utilities occasionally. And PC Magazine had this bat to exe. And it would actually convert batch files into really their command files. I don't know why that said bat to exe up there. Because it does not make executables. It makes command files. Like watch here. Well, let's do a batch file. So we have c.bat. So that's what's in there. So we'll do bat2com. And then we'll do c.bat. Okay. Now if we hex edit c.com, this is what it made. So it's kind of a way back then to somewhat hide your batch text, but you can still see the commands in here. But if you were to try to view that through like a type editor, that's what you'd see instead of the text files. Shot says you're doing well for getting him single you out in the chat. Yeah. I don't know, Gauntlet. Okay, let's see. Oh, what was that? Anywhere. I think that's Anywhere Antivirus maybe? Okay, yeah, that's what that was. Any other fun utilities? Where is? Oh, yes. We use this a lot. So you could say, where is vsafe.com? And it shows you the hierarchy where it finds it. So it was under utility vsafe. So you could do it like at the root. I found it right there. Pretty cool, huh? Anything else? List. I use this all the time. Allows you to view inside files like this. And I liked how it created symbols for all these characters. Like when you use a hex editor, a lot of times it won't have the symbols. But like this, if we use it on C.com, see, you can see better than what the type did. You can see that CD backslash CLS dir. That's pretty cool. FD read, what was that? I'm not sure what that was. More. Don't know what that is either. I have all these old things I collected that just don't use. Speaking of Norton, here it is. So here's Norton. Let's set hex edit in our path again. Let's see if we can tell what they wrote theirs in. Semantic. Check toward the bottom. Scorpio. NLib 100. Runtime library, copyright 1992. Huh. Interesting. Michael says some sort of disk cache utility. I don't know. FD read. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in here. So that runtime library wasn't, I don't think it was a C runtime library, which is weird. Let's look at TS because that's small. Semantic. Let's go to the bottom. Scorpio again. Interesting. So I wonder, is that their like, maybe they made their own runtime and it's called Scorpio. Runtime. Huh. Some of this is a little bit compressed too. I don't see, yeah, I don't see anything in there. Let's see here. FS. Yeah, the only thing I can think of is they have their own runtime library, and it's called Scorpio. Yeah, see, there it is again. Huh. Interesting. Well, we all learned something. Scorpio is probably Symantec's either their runtime library or some kind of compiler that they made. Wonder if we searched online. Let's see. Scorpio Symantec. Yeah, all we're going to get is the current Symantec. Let's try Scorpio Norton Utilities. Oh, that was the code name. Version 7 of Norton Utilities was called Scorpio. So Norton Utilities, yeah, 7.0 beta was Scorpio. Huh, that's pretty funny. They put that right in the EXE. Well, anyway, guys, that's probably enough of all this. Michael says Scorpio is a top secret government backdoor for Norton. Yeah. Gauntlet says, did you ever try OS2? No, I never did. I did do DeskView X, which was really good. I used that for quite a while. Before like Windows NT. I never did use OS2 though. Seems like it was really expensive or something. Like OS2 Warp. Michael says he used OS2 and it was interesting. The company Arcanay still markets it, Michael says. Wow, that's weird. Hmm. All right, guys. Well, that's probably it for tonight. That was fun. It was a way for me not to have to try to play a game and kind of relax a little more. So I hope you guys enjoyed it and took a trip down memory lane. So thanks for the chat, guys, and I will see you next time.